You're listening to the What's Not Sports podcast. I'm your host, Will O'Connor. This is another episode of the Pulse Check. We're here in episode 81, and we've got a few things to cover this week. We've had the Commonwealth Games on. We've got round 21 of the NRL to cover, round 5 of the NRLW, round 4, and just a few other things that's been happening in the NRL. It's been a bit hectic the last week. Since the last recording, Adam Doueihi not playing for the Tigers. That whole Tigers incident, we'll jump into that and have a chat about that soon. But I really want to touch on the Commonwealth Games. Australia currently over in Glasgow and dominating. The medal tally currently is 103 for Australia. So we've already won 103 medals. 35 of them bronze, 21 of them silver, and 47 gold. We are beating Canada by 33 gold medals. Insane. I love watching the swimming. There has been some extraordinary swimming going on at the moment. Mcevoy, my personal highlight has been, of the games was the men's 50 free. The Aussie clean sweep. Mcevoy doing his thing, the first ever person to go under 21 twice. Absolute weapon. The top three, which were all Aussie boys, it's a faster top three than what the Olympics was 2 years ago. Now that just blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind, and it's awesome. Earlier this morning, this is my second favourite moment. The men's 50 butterfly. A dead heat. Australia winning 2 gold medals in one race. Awesome. Mcevoy rounding out that podium on third. Wow. Insane. We've seen feats that have never happened before in the athletics, haven't happened for 70 years. It's just been so successful for the Aussies, and it's been so good. And I just love it. It's really just awesome to see what is going on internationally on an international stage. Not quite fully international, but making history at these Commonwealth Games and absolutely dominating. So well done to the Aussies there. Huge. Now, in NRL news, we want to talk Adam Doueihi. Adam Doueihi, before last week, decided to not play for the Tigers in the Tigers-Raiders clash. He got asked to be moved to lock. He said no, and he walked out on Mudgee and walked out on the squad. Fast forward to this week, he's apologised, said that he should have played the game. He's been named as starting 7 for the Tigers this weekend. It's just a whole flip. Like he said, he was unhappy with a lot of things, like quote-unquote vaping in the club, but from what it sounds like, in gym training sessions, which is just madness, if you ask me. A lot of eyes are turning to his manager, Isaac Moses. He's in the firing line saying that he is a problem agent. Now, I can't confirm or deny that. I obviously have my own opinions on that, which I'm still forming. But Adam Doueihi, the backflip, be happy at training, something sus there, but it's a bit of a weird fiasco that is happening at the Tigers. We know the Tigers are imploding. They're imploding with Jerome Luai last week, him going to PNG, just everything on that sense. It's just, I would hate to be a Tigers fan because you guys you've got it rough. I honestly rather be a Dragons fan than a Tigers fan. That's a different story there. In other NRL news, Zach Lomax to PNG. I think I might have mentioned this last week. I don't know. Lomax to PNG for the Chiefs. Huge move there. Cam Munster confirmed that he was meant to go over on the same flight as Lomax to check out the PNG facilities, but with Lomax going over there, he actually didn't want to be in the media. He didn't think it would be a good look for himself, for Melbourne, for PNG, all of those. It's very interesting there. But yeah, Lomax signs with PNG, so 3 different clubs in a span of 18 months that he signed a contract with. He was at Parramatta. He then tried to go to R360 and that fell through. He's now over playing rugby union with the Western Force, and now he's going over to PNG to play for the Chiefs in 2028. Very interesting news there. They're building quite the team over there. Perth Bears, I feel sorry for them. They don't get to have that tax-free incentive that the Chiefs are getting. I think they're struggling. What I've noticed of the team that they're building, unfortunately, there's no superstars there. But there are players that just get in and do their work and do it hard. And that could be their greatest asset, and just have a reliable, solid team of just hard workers. I do think you need a star playmaker, but once you get a star playmaker or 2 of them, you start relying on them. Where if you've got a team that is just all hard workers and they all are reliable on their own, that could actually be a very threatening team. Like we see Tyson Smoothie going over there. Cole, Jack Cole, is it, from Penrith? He's off there now. Shivers over there. It'll be very interesting. And honestly, a team full of just solid players that do their role could be a very threatening team in the comp. Now, in the most important news, we return to Mudgee this week. If you know, you know. The miracle of Mudgee. Miracle at Mudgee, or whatever you want to call it. It's beautiful. Get excited for it. We'll touch on that in a second. But let's now review our round 21 tips. Not bad from us at all. Para versus Penrith. Penrith got the win there. We had them tipped. Parramatta very unlucky here. Probably should have been a couple penalties. There should have been a penalty try. It was a very close game. Only 6 points in it. Penrith got away lucky. And that's something for sure. Parramatta just on the wrong end of the stick, unfortunately. The calls go their way. They get the win. I just can't believe the technology we have with the officials right there. You can't call a forward pass or a knock on more than half the time. And that might be sounding contradicting going into the next thing of the Raiders. Yes, there were a bit of that, but that won't make a difference because we beat the Tigers by, 56-10 or whatever it was, 56-6. It's different when it's a very close game as what the Parramatta-Penrith game was. And I feel for Para fans, I feel for Para players, I feel for the whole Para system. They just got wronged. In all honesty, they just got wronged, and Penrith take the win there. Knights versus Roosters, we had the Roosters tipped. The Roosters just get the win there. The Bunnies versus Storm, we had the Storm tipped, but the Bunnies stepped up, got the win, but they've got a lot of reviewing to do. I think Dufty isn't their man. I understand they want to keep Jai Gray developing and don't want to put him under the spotlight too much yet, but I honestly think he is your man and you need to step him up and put him in there if you want to keep winning games and have a good shot at the finals. Raiders, Tigers, we tipped the milk here. And you know what happened. Absolute domination over the Tigers. They were in shambles. No Doueihi. That whole incident there, obviously a factor on the Tigers, but the rugby league gods have been well. The Tigers fans mocking the Viking clap at Leichhardt Oval. Well, they got Viking clapped. Absolutely dominated. The Ethan Sanders Clinic. He scored 91 points on NRL Fantasy. Simi Sasungi, 75 points. Oh my gosh. Dane Laurie scored a hat-trick. This is actually really interesting. I love this fact. Zach Hosking was like the first lock in 19 years to score a hat trick. 2 weeks later, Dane Laurie does it coming off the bench. Both locks from Canberra. Ricky knows something that we don't know, and it's for locks to score hat tricks. I just get excited about that stat. Like when I first heard that stat of Hosking's like hat trick being the first for a lock in 19 years, I was like, that's so cool. And then for Dane Laurie to do it against the Tigers, like yes, he did it against the Tigers, but he also did it coming off the bench, which I think is a huge factor and huge credit to him. Gets lock of the week according to the NRL. I just find that crazy. The lock of the week is the guy coming off the bench. Speaking of week, KO Weeks absolutely dominating in fine form. I think he's getting ready for that magic, that miracle magic at Mudgee this weekend. Oh, it gives me goosebumps. I'm so excited about it. Come on, boys. We'll talk about it in a second. Settle down, Wilbur. But yeah, Raiders domination. Even without Owen Paddy, Hudson Young, and Noah Martin, we dominated. Owen Paddy's back this week. Just let's go, Noah Martin, unfortunately, out for 4 to 6 weeks with a quad injury that he picked up just before the game during the week training last week. Hudson Young, we know he's out for the season with his Achilles rupture. Still praying on quick, healthy, and speedy recovery for him. Bulldogs versus Warriors. Had the Wires tipped here, and the Bulldogs just came out the gates. The Wires just kind of got steamrolled in this one. The Bulldogs just looked like they could run over them, and that's what they did. They got the win there. Cowboys versus Broncos. Say goodbye to any Broncos hopes in the finals. I know mathematically you're still there, but I just don't think so. What the Cowboys did, what Burns did to Reece Walsh. Burns just absolutely body Reece Walsh. Passes the ball to Clifford over for a halftime try. The Cowboys take out the 4X Derby, and I can't complain. It was an entertaining game. Errors on both sides, but just some good footy, just some decent footy from both sides. Dumb plays from both sides, in all honesty, but I'm happy the Cowboys got the win there. We got that tip right. And for all you Broncos fans thinking you're doing a double, you're doing back-to-back premierships, doing the impossible run again, you're just not. So go enjoy the bottom four. Go enjoy Bali. Well, the real teams play finals. Raiders making a run for the finals. And just, enjoy the rest of the comp. Dragons versus Titans. Have the Titans tipped. The Dragons nearly go from beating the Wars 2 weekends ago to last weekend getting pummeled by the Titans. The Titans are now back-to-back. Jaden Campbell just in career best form, playing 5'8". Very happy to see him playing some really good footy. It's getting me a bit excited, to be honest. I reckon they go, well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. 3 in a row, I reckon. Manly versus Sharks. We had tipped Manly here. We thought Fosball was going to come in clutch, and it just didn't. The Sharks absolutely bullied Manly, and it's an embarrassing loss for him, unfortunately. And I don't think we see him in the top 8, and we will also be saying enjoy Bali. Oh. Let's jump into the NRLW. One tip wrong. And it's because of this stupid hair rule. Oh. There's a bit of debate going on it. Should the NRL consider hair part of the body? Yes, it is part of the body. But when you're half a metre in and your hair goes out and you're scoring a try and it's then a no try because you're out due to your hair, but your head is clearly in by like half a metre, I think that's a bit unfortunate and dodgy. In the men's, I think, because there's the whole hair pulling rules and things like that, and I get it, like your hair then becomes part of your jersey type thing if it goes past your shoulders. I understand that, and if you're trying to make a tackle and you grab the hair, all those things, but you got to see the NRLW and the NRL are different in the sense that women traditionally have longer hair and men traditionally have shorter hair. Some men like to grow their hair out. Some women like to cut their hair short. It's up to them. I think based on that, for the majority at least, the majority of the men in the game of NRL have short hair. So maybe have the rule that if their hair goes out, it's out. But in the women's, if the hair goes out, it's not out. It's a tricky rule. And I just think if your body, it is a tricky one. I just think it's a bit stiff there, especially for the girls, because you can't control really your hair going out unless you cut it or have headgear on or something like that. That's my opinion on it. But back to the round 4 review. Raiders take a loss to the Sharks, so we didn't get that tip right, but then we went on and got 5 in a row right. Bulldogs versus Dragons, had the Bulldogs tip, they get the win there. Cowgirls versus Titans, we tip the Titans get the win there. Para versus Wars, we tip the Wars got the win there. Bronx Knights, take a guess, we picked the Bronx, got that one right. And Tigers versus Roosters get the win over the Tigers, and that's who we had tipped. Now let's talk NRLW round 5. Here we go. Jump in. Sharks versus Tigers. I'm tipping the Sharks. Dragons versus Roosters. Let's go Roosters. The Milk versus the Cowgirls. Let's go Raiders. Home game. Let's get the win there. Oh, actually, I think it's Magic Round. Is that right? Is this week Magic Round for the girls? It is. It's the NRLW Magic Round. That's awesome. Out at Wagga Wagga. Such a cool place that they had to say the name twice. Love that place. That will be such an eventful weekend. Honestly, I would love to be out there watching the NRLW out in rural New South Wales, or semi-rural New South Wales. I don't know if you can call it New South Wales, but I mean, if you can call it rural New South Wales, but it would be such a fun weekend. NRLW, Wagga Wagga. What a great spot to have it. And I hope these girls have as much fun doing Magic Round as anyone else. And yeah, that's awesome. Let's go. So Magic Round for NRLW. We got the Sharks beating the Tigers, the Roosters beating the Dragons, the Raiders beating the Cowgirls, the Dogs versus Broncos. We're picking the Broncos. The Wires versus Titans. I reckon this could be a tight game, but we're going to pick the Titans. And then Para versus Newcastle. Let's go with Newey. The NRL round 22. Let's have a look at it, shall we? Cowboys versus Roosters. I'm tipping the Roosters here because, hear me out, I really need the Raiders to make top 8, and the Roosters are untouchable. Well, not untouchable, but they're probably locked into the top 4, I'd say, or close to, thereabouts. They beat the Cowboys. It's a step closer for the Raiders getting to the top 8. Dragons versus Dolphins. Nikorima, he's off to the Dragons now next season. He will be wishing defeat on his future club, so Dolphins get the win there. Storm versus Dogs. Let's go Storm to beat the Dogs. I just don't want to tip the Dogs, to be honest. Simple as that. Titans versus Wars. You know what? Titans 3 in a row. I've called it. And I'm going to be on that bandwagon. And I'm going to look like a genius when I say they beat the Wars at the Gold Coast by 10 points. 10 plus. Titans, let's go. And then they're going to go enjoy Movie World. There you go. Penrith versus Raiders. We're back to Mudgee. I am excited for this game. If you remember the miracle at Mudgee last year, oh my gosh, it was tears of joy. Nathan Cleary could not ice it, and he won't be able to again because the Colonel is here, and he's going to deliver KFC for all and get the win. Ethan Sanders, Nathan Cleary showing off. Blaze Talangi dropped for Cogger. Ethan Strange that left foot step. He's on that left side. Kyle Weeks is playing on that right side. This is what we love to see. It's going to be a great matchup. Penrith don't have Dylan Edwards this week. I can just sense it. I've just got the tingling feeling, you know? I'm not wearing my Raiders merch today because it's in the wash, but I am wearing Raiders shorts, so that does count. I am so excited for the miracle at Mudgee. Oh, my God. The Mudgee miracle. Jed Stewart's playing. Do we see another, well, not a try assist, but do we see the vision of Jed Stewart catching the ball off the post for a field goal? Oh my gosh, it just gets me so excited thinking about Mudgee. Oh, stop it. This is going to be a brilliant game. The last time the Raiders and Penrith faced off, earlier in the season, at halftime, perfect stats by both teams, almost 50-50 possession for everything. Both had 100% completion rate as set. It was then Simi Sasangi was injured and went off, and then Penrith, both teams started making errors. It was just that Penrith could execute on the Canberra errors and actually get across the line, where the Raiders weren't as much capitalising on it. But I think we can now. The form that Ethan Sanders is in, the form that Owen Paddy's in, he's back this weekend. Tom Starling off the bench. Let's get Tom Starling running off the back fence again. Big Papa's back. Simi Sasangi's back. He's going to play a full 80 minutes. Ricky pulled him off the field to give him a bit of a rest for the Mudgee miracle. Kyle Weeks, he's hit good form. I'm very excited for it. Oh, I just get that tingling feeling in my spine where it just is. The boys are linking up here. We're all on the same page. Every play has purpose. It has intent. And it's just domination. I don't even know if you can put this on Sports Leg, but I'm saying Owen Paddy 2+ 40-20s. 2 or more 40-20s from Owen Paddy this weekend at Mudgee. And both of them lead to tries. I've said it there. I honestly would love to see a 20-40 by Owen Paddy. That would be some good eyes up footy there. Zach Hoskins in great form. He's playing in that middle, in that edges now with Hutto out. So Adam Moriotta starting in that edge as well. Morgan Smithy starting in that lock role. Dane Laurie's going to be a huge impact off the bench against his former team. It just genuinely gets me so excited, and it's prime time, 5:30 Saturday. What more could a man dream for? Because I don't dream much more than that. This gets me nearly as excited as an Origin decider in Queensland, or just Origin full stop. This is just the miracle at Mudgee again, and the Raiders, the milk will get the win at Mudgee. That's me getting excited. Sorry, guys. Went on a bit of a tangent there. Broncos versus Newcastle. Newcastle to put the absolute nail in the coffin there for the Broncos and to demoralise any Broncos delusional fans that still think there's a chance of making finals. To delete the mathematical equation. And then Tigers versus Parramatta. You've got to pick Para. Tigers are just in shambles. Not that Para isn't, but Jerome Law facing off against his future club of next season. So, but I reckon Para get the win over them. Bang. There and done. If you can't tell, I am very excited for the game at Mudgee this weekend. Penrith versus Raiders, 5:30 Saturday. Be there watching. Don't contact me unless Owen Paddy scores. None of this sledging, because the Milk are doing it. If they win this, they get made the finals. I'm telling you right now. It is 100% certain. If the Raiders beat Penrith at Mudgee again, this weekend, we are making the top 8, and there's no doubt in my mind. Quote me, clip me, put me on everything you want. That is a statement, and that is a fact. If you don't believe me, or if you don't want to see it, just go away, spend 10 in the bin, and then come back after the game when I'm right. Whew. I'm throwing out strays here. Okay, before we finish off, I want to start a new segment. Plays of the week, or, sporting opinions of the week. I want you guys to send me a voice message or just a regular message on Instagram or a comment and let me know your opinion. It can be NRL, it can be sport, it can be anything. It can be as a fan and just how you feel about your team, if they're playing good, if they're playing bad. It could be on any sport, really. But if I think it's worthy, it'll make it to the pod and I'll listen to it. And yeah, we can listen to it together. The Fan's Opinion, that's what I'm going to call it. And it's going to be a new segment called The Fan's Opinion, and I'm going to love it. Okay, so there you go. Over the weekend or whenever before the next filming of the next episode, have your opinion and let me know. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'll go through them, even the comments, and happy days. So, guys, enjoy your NRL this weekend. Enjoy your just sport in general this week. And up the milk. We're going to be Viking clapping at Mudgee, and I'll see you after the game. See you in the next episode, team.